In order to encourage client retention, you need to change up your routine regularly. This is what I've found works for my own clients at my studio. I tend to keep my warm-up the same for 2 to 3 months. And the reason is it's functional. It serves a purpose, and that purpose is to take somebody from outside into the cold, mobilize their major joints and increase their heart rate gradually and progressively. I also keep my end stretch section the same, again for 2 to 3 months. And the reason is the same. It's functional and it serves a purpose. And that purpose is you want to stretch out all the major muscle groups that you've used in the class. I tend to keep this around 6 to 7 minutes long. So really it's the bar section and the floor section that are changed on a more regular basis. And given that the floor section doesn't require any choreography because there are no transitions, you finish one floor exercise, change position, count down and start the next floor exercise. I tend to keep it pretty much abdominal based because this is the first chance most people have had in a class to really focus on the core abdominal muscles. There are plenty of variations in abdominal exercises on the floor within your BarreConcept manual, and there are also ideas online. For your week 5 exam lesson plan, you'll note that the BarreConcept formula has not been applied to the floor section. This is because I'm assuming your clients are complete beginners who've only had 5 weeks of experience. And given that the floor is pretty much abdominal based, they have to be very strong in their core abdominals and have very good core stability to stay in a neutral, safe position whilst working their abdominals. And if you're applying end range pulses followed by a static hold, if they're not stable, then their back can arch. So it's a safety issue. So for the week 5 exam lesson plan, we've just applied full range movement because I'm assuming that they're complete beginners. However, you do know your clients and you know if they're strong enough and they're stable enough. And if they are, then apply the BarreConcept formula to the mat. Full range movement, end range pulses, followed by a static hold. And that will give the formula to burn using the principle of muscle overload. So really, you're left with the bar section. Your bar section is roughly about 30 minutes of the class. And I think to call it a bar class, you need to have at least half of the class which is taken up working at the bar. So I tend to change my bar section every 2 to 3 weeks. What I do is I'll do a 30-minute, maybe 40-minute routine for 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'll take out a 10-minute chunk. Go to the online workouts, you'll see there's 5, 10, 15, 20-minute chunks, and insert a new 10-minute chunk and run with that for 2 to 3 weeks. And after that, take out your second 10-minute chunk, insert a new one, run with that for 2 to 3 weeks. And then take your final 10-minute chunk out and insert a new one and run with that for 2 to 3 weeks and start the whole process over again. So over a period of weeks and months, your routine slowly morphs and changes, but not at a pace your clients can't keep up with. Because if you're changing it every week, not only does it make life very hard for you as the teacher because you're having to learn and remember a brand new routine each week, but also for your clients, they never get to grips with the movement. So it's nice to have that degree of familiarity. They do the same thing for 2 to 3 weeks and then they start to understand the routine. And they think, okay, I'm a bit familiar now. And with that familiarity comes a certain sense of competence. I know what I'm doing. What it allows you to do as a teacher is that you don't have to work so hard on the cueing because your clients know which movement is coming next. And that frees up your time to give more teaching points so that over a period of time, their technique and their overall performance improves. But at the same time, it's not getting boring because there's a new 10-minute chunk for them to get their teeth into, it providing a different challenge. So I like to think of it as something what they do know to give that sense of competence and achievement, and something of what they don't know to provide that variety and challenge so that it relieves some of the boredom. So that's what I found works for me, but of course you're free to work it however you see fit. And as long as you keep changing it and varying it and offering modifications and progressions, I'm sure your classes will be full and your clients will keep coming. So starting up, how do you set up classes for the first time? Again, I'm going to share with you what has worked for me. I advertise a beginner's introductory workshop so people can get a taster session of what a BarreConcept class is and looks like. And if they like it, they can then sign up for a course of lessons. So if you make use of things like Twitter, Facebook, all your social media, I tell our student teachers to link the black and white BarreConcept brand promotional video, which you'll see on our YouTube channel. It's the only clip that's in black and white here, and it's 2 minutes long. So if you were to link that and tell your clients that you are starting up a BarreConcept beginners workshop, and you were to put this on your Facebook, then you can link Facebook to the BarreConcept brand promotional video. It's a 2-minute clip, black and white, and gives an overview of each section of the class, so your clients can see in a nutshell exactly what to expect. We also have our 20-minute YouTube workout, which is the top bar clip on YouTube, and at the moment there's over 600,000 views. That's not one I would link to your website or your social media because it's a 20-minute clip and it's too long. They really just need a brief overview. Although you can link any of our Pilates Union YouTube channel videos direct and display them on your website or your social media. What you can't do is put any of your own YouTube clips or of your own BarreConcept workout, okay? Because we can't check the quality, so it has to be one of ours. So I would advertise a BarreConcept beginners workshop, and I do a 90-minute format. It consists of a 20 to 30-minute introduction. This is a plie, this is what it looks like, and then I get the clients to perform it. This is a tendu, this is what it looks like, and then get them to do it. And the same with press-ups and oyster. So I break down about 7 movements, and on top of that I show them the basic ballet positions. There's no music, I just show them, they practice, and I will correct them so that they know some of the movements that's going to come in the workout to follow. And you will see on the BarreConcept Instructor Network, when you click onto the online workouts, this BarreConcept Beginners Introductory Workshop format is up on there online for you to copy from. So once you've run your first workshop, then you can sign up, provided they like it, your clients for a 6-week course, or however you run your classes. And then once you've done your first 6-week beginner course, hopefully those people will sign up for another 6 weeks. And then of course they're heading up onto intermediate level. But let's say they've done 2 6-week courses and they're now on to their 3rd, but somebody's dropped out of the class. So you know you have a space. And one of the people in your class wants their friend to come along, but their friend has no experience. Or people might phone you up and they've never done it before. So it's how to deal with that. And the way I deal with that really is to vet people on the phone, because you don't want to turn away business, but at the same time you don't want somebody who doesn't know what they're doing or can injure themselves into a class full of experienced people. So the way to work it is to screen people on the phone. Okay, so what you can do is come for a trial class. If you like the trial class, then you can sign up for the course. But in order to do that, I need to ascertain your fitness levels. If you're quite strong, if you've been doing Pilates or you've got good core stability or you've been going to the gym several times a week, then you can come for a trial class, provided that you understand that this is a flowing class, it's quite an intense workout and it's a non-stop workout. However, you've got permission and feel free to rest whenever you need to, and we will be making modifications in the class. If you feel that you want to go ahead and do that and go into a class full of experienced people, come for a trial class. If on the other hand, somebody had a baby last year and they're getting back into fitness, or they've never really done any kind of fitness before, it's not the ideal class to come back to fitness with. So in that case, I would say, okay, this is a flowing class. It's quite an intense non-stop workout. It's not the best class to return to after having a break for a while. What I'd suggest is you come to our next beginners workshop, which is next month. You'll be in the workshop with similar like-minded people who have no experience, and you'll be complete beginners all together. And from there, we can start up a brand new beginners group. If you can't make that and you still want to have a little bit more tuition before going into an existing class, you can always come for a one-to-one lesson. So you can either offer them a workshop or a private lesson. When you've done your second workshop, you've now got a brand new beginners group and you've got an intermediate group. So you've got more choice when people keep ringing you up. You can place them into either group. And that's how I found works for me. But be very careful of just accepting anybody into the class, because what you don't want to do is make the class very easy for one person when you've got 12 people in a class who've been coming for 3 months. So what also you don't want to do is one person to come in and the class is very difficult and they can't handle it. So that's why it's really important to ascertain their level of fitness, to say direct them to the workshop or come and do a trial class. And that's what has worked for me.